Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Star Trek the Animated Series. We are now on episode 13 of the first season, and this episode is called The Ambergris Element. I am looking forward to seeing what the animated series has in store for us today, so let's get to it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the comments.
Argo was once a land planet, but its surface is now almost completely covered by water. The change was caused by violent seismic disturbances. Our mission is to study the effects which the quakes had on its surface. This knowledge may save millions of lives on a Federation planet identical to Argo.
We have a little
This is the largest landmass on the planet, isn't it,
boat.
Spock?
Yes, Captain.
Oh, I suggest that we get these seawater and algae specimens. What's that?
Okay, we're getting right to it. Oh, just chucked him.
What the devil was that thing?
A nematode.
Submerge, Lieutenant.
Aye, sir.
We're a submersible.
Dual respiratory system, lungs and gills.
It's so cool. It kind of looks like a lobster, whale, octopus thing.
Phasers do not respond, Captain. We must have sustained damage to the power pack.
Oh, great. But this planet is not very welcoming.
Beam us aboard, Scotty.
Go! Oh! Ah! Man overboard! This is bad.
Come in, Captain, come in!
Were Kirk and Spock inside the ship still?
Captain Kirk and First Officer Spock have been missing for almost 5 days.
5 days.
Dr. McCoy and I are continuing the search at a greater distance from the attack point.
There's just nothing.
I see some rocks.
Thanks, that's really useful.
There's something on them.
Oh, that's a little bit more useful. I see rocks. Like, that's all you can see is water and rocks, dude. Oh. How are they not dead?
Their bodies are functioning.
How?
Can't breathe. Suffocate. Help. Can't breathe.
Oh. What?
Something's changed their whole
Was
lung
it the
structure.
water?
They can't live in the air anymore.
They have to swim. So that answers my question why they could breathe while they were underwater.
But medical examinations show an unidentified substance in the bloodstream. Their internal structure is completely transformed. So far, all efforts to return them to normal have failed. It had to be done by injection.
But can't you duplicate
Really?
its bones?
That implies there are intelligent life forms on Argo.
Yeah, it does. Mermen.
Oceans are less turbulent at greater depth.
But what would be their motives for changing them? And then just leaving them?
Our equipment is too limited.
We aren't limited. We can go wherever we want in that ocean.
You'd be out of contact range, unarmed.
I have to, Bones. Look at this place. I can't command a ship from inside an aquarium.
Oh.
What about you, Spock? What does your logic tell you?
The captain states the case emotionally, of course, but correctly. I must accompany the captain.
An intelligence that can produce this kind of mutation can change us back.
You better hope so.
We'll make contact as soon as possible, Mr. Scott.
Aye, sir.
That is crazy. Well, I never thought we would do an underwater episode like this. How fun. There they are.
Go away, air breathers.
We won't harm you. We're friends.
It is enough our young saved your lives once.
Oh.
Listen.
Go away.
The young ones save them, but the older ones are like, no thanks.
I believe the phrase was, our young saved your lives once.
Better find him.
The answer appears to be in that direction, Spock.
I would say so, Captain.
I loved that shot. I love the silhouette work that they do in this.
Fascinating
Nice.
and beautiful.
An undersea civilization.
Cool.
Why should they be afraid of us, Spock?
It is quite possible that they find us grotesque, and many people fear beings different from themselves.
This is true.
We have to get in there.
Perhaps there's a way open on the far side.
Oh, we're fish food!
I am Domar, the High Tribune. You are air breather enemies from the surface.
We came here in peace, Tribune.
The ancient records warn that air breathers never come in peace. Can't we do nothing without consulting the ancient records? They have mutated perfectly.
Your scientists induced these mutations?
Your memory was eradicated so you could not return here.
Oh.
They found us again, to come among us as spies.
You do not give them a chance to defend themselves, Kadmar.
I like her.
We are visitors to your planet. We come from another world.
Clearly, this is a lie. The air breathers have come again to destroy us.
Oh, so they've dealt with some nasty people from up top.
Of reversing our mutations.
That is impossible.
Census just gave us an update reading, Scotty. There's a seaquake due in that area.
Oh, no.
Within 4 hours.
Their directional marker indicates they descended toward that fern bed.
Air breathers. We must inform the tribunes.
I don't know if there are any air breathers left. I haven't seen them.
3 air breathers have invaded the sea foliage.
Do you still believe these creatures came in peace?
We do not know what to believe.
Take these spies to the surface boulders and leave them there.
Oh, they're out of the water again. Oh, was she the cool one?
I will free you. The mesh is too strong.
Go to the big island. Bring assistance party.
Did you see anything? Not a sign of them.
Is he wearing that belt?
Your friends
Force
need
field
help.
belt? From the first animated episode?
There.
Quick, lads.
Rila, this is my engineering officer, Mr. Scott. Tribune Rila is an Aquan.
There's a sea bottom quake due. It'll destroy this whole area.
There are legends of such a happening. When the surface places began to sink, many air breathers were mutated through Sergo-Op. As the centuries passed, the mutations became hereditary.
They were exposed to frightening geological disaster. Such hardship induces savagery.
They hunted
It
and killed
does?
us. That is also why it is forbidden to mutate back to surface forms.
Then reverse mutation is possible.
There are legends of sealed places in the sunken ruins.
How far are the ruins, Rila?
Only a short distance.
Well, we better get going.
I will take you as far as the reef barrier.
Oh my goodness.
The ruins lie that way. The tides are strong.
I see that. Looks like it'll suck them right in, but how are they going to get out if they're going against the current like that? Whoa!
The entire portion of the continental shelf sank within a few minutes.
Holy moly.
This may be the sealed place Rila mentioned.
There's another chamber.
The torso indicates mutation.
That's it, Spock. The key to the survival of the race.
Not really sure exactly what's going on, honestly. Oh, it's our friend. Excuse me. He's back. Our friend's back. Is that the quake? Already? Oh, convenient.
Substance in your bloodstream is similar to the ambergris of earth whales.
What's the composition of the
Ambergris.
antitoxin?
It's made from the venom of the Argo sur snake.
Oh, is that the thing that just got killed?
We need your help.
But the ordainment state clearly that capturing sur snakes is forbidden.
Ordainments are useless in times of turbulence.
We must break the ordainments.
Feels like this episode is a warning of being rigid and not allowing for progression when it comes to things like religion, maybe government, and just rules of a civilization.
We must leave.
Because
We need more venom.
they couldn't account for every single thing happening when they made those rules. And they couldn't predict how things would be so far into the future.
Part of the old records is missing, so the exact dosage is unknown. We We can't be sure it's right.
How many infusion bones?
2 small, 1 large.
Oh, he's turning into a lobster. Oh.
The lungs are beginning to revert. This is the last dose, the largest infusion.
What about Spock? Wait, his hands, huh?
The antitoxin was too strong.
What? I thought it was working. Why did he give him the large dose?
He's starting to breathe.
What? What? Wait, what?
How do you feel, Jim?
A little dizzy, otherwise normal.
Better get into some dry clothes. I wouldn't want you to catch cold. Your turn, Spock.
Oh, I thought... Okay. Thought he used all the doses on Kirk.
Believe such knowledge was possible. It is incredible. All of it.
Can you imagine being confined to the ocean to suddenly be in outer space?
Sensors indicate the epicenter of the quake was in a totally uninhabited area.
Then our people are safe.
Argo appears to have a new city, Captain. Or rather, one reborn.
Whoa.
We owe you and your friends.
Our experience here has shown us the means of diverting quakes. That will mean much to the endangered Federation planet.
There you go.
The young Aquans have decided to rebuild the great shelters of the air breathers.
Only the young Aquans don't lose contact with each other, like your ancestors.
We will pass ordainments to forbid it.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't love that one. I didn't hate it. It was just kind of like there. I didn't really strongly like or dislike it. I feel like there were a lot of messages that the writers were trying to convey, and for some reason, I was having trouble understanding them. Or maybe I did understand them, but they just didn't kind of stick. Like, they didn't really have the vavoosh, you know? It just, something about the episode felt flat, but there was a lot to like. I loved this planet. I loved the sea creature. I loved the thought of Kirk and Spock becoming like aqua humans with their webbed feet and breathing underwater and exploring deep in the ocean. The fish people were cool looking. I feel like I said, like, it's a warning of being stubbornly stuck in your ways. But I do feel like they showed the older generation in a bad light and never gave them, like, any kind of redemption or like they were starting to come around. Well, there was that one lady who helped them, and she was one of the older ones, I believe. So in that light, it wasn't so one-sided. It just felt kind of one-sided to me. Of like, older generation, stubborn, bad. Younger generation, good. I don't know. I could be getting this completely wrong, and forgive me if I am. I think also maybe there were some pieces of dialogue that were kind of explaining some of the science-y stuff and some of the motivations that maybe went too fast and I couldn't really understand it that well. So I think if I watch it again, some of the things that didn't really make sense to me probably will. I do think this, just from a visual standpoint though, this is a very memorable episode. I think this one's gonna stick out in my mind, not really for the story necessarily, but just for everything that was going on visually, the setting, the underwater nature of it, those fish people, Kirk's hands with webs on them, he and Spock swimming. I did like the scenes that just showed them kind of swimming through, showing them coming and going from different angles. They used some silhouette technique there. Really cool shot. I loved that one. I liked the submarine thing that they had. We've never seen that before. And then we saw I believe the same belts, the like force field belts that we saw in Beyond the Farthest Star. So if so, that's really cool to see those again. I feel like a lot of my questions might be answered when I go back and edit this episode through and can really examine the dialogue and what they're saying. So this is one that I might change my mind on later on, which has definitely happened before. I did really love the reveal that Kirk and Spock were turned into sea breathers, water breathers, as opposed to air breathers, because when we first found them by the wrecked ship, and they had their faces down in the water and they'd been missing for 5 days, and I'm just like, how are they not dead? Like, their face is literally in the water. And I thought maybe it was some kind of animation error or oversight or something. And then it turns out that because they were face down in the water was the reason that they were able to survive, because that was what they needed to breathe. So that was cool. That caught me off guard, which I really like, a little surprise like that. Oh, and another thing I love is like the thought of an ancient civilization, especially one that's like hidden for so long because it's buried or it's underwater, and there are things to discover there, ancient texts, ancient knowledge. I am fascinated by that kind of thing. So when they went into the ancient part of their city, that was really cool. It was like the Titanic, but not a ship underwater, but a whole little section of their civilization there. And then it came up to the surface, and the younger generation said that they would go up there and live up there and study those ancient texts. I guess I'm just left wondering a little bit more about the history of this place. I would like to understand it a little bit better. So I guess they started as air breathers, and some of them evolved to live underwater, but the ones that were still on the land attacked them. And then what happened to them? Did they all die out? Because we didn't see much land, and the little land that we did see, there were no people, no civilization, nothing. So have the air breathers died out because of their land getting smaller and smaller because of the rising tides? How long have they been gone if that's the case? And what's to stop the older population of the I didn't catch what they were called, I forgot, but the Aqua people from going to war with the ones that went to the surface? Or if you have the high ground, are you at an advantage? So it'll be okay as long as the young ones that are peaceful and want to coexist peacefully are up there and they won't attack. I am rambling now. I'm gonna go. Thank you guys for watching this episode of Star Trek the Animated Series with me. We are one episode closer to all the things that are coming up after the animated series, and that is very exciting. Hope you guys had fun. Make sure to let me know what you thought about this episode in the comments, and if you have any insight to share to help me understand some of the things that I might have missed in this one, because I feel like I did miss some things, then please let me know and tell me all about it in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye!